Each and every one of these people think New York is for sale.
So Zohran Mamdani is running to be the mayor of New York, and his campaign is about freedom. But it's not the freedom our founders declared endowed by our creator. It's a freedom granted by government. And that means it can be taken away just as easily.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
They are the authoritarians who seek to keep us pressed beneath their thumbs because they know that once we shake ourselves loose, we will never be held down again. Each and every one of these people think New York is for sale. For too long, my friends, freedom has belonged only to those who can afford to buy it.
Did you catch that? He redefines freedom, not as a God-given right, but as something the state sells and redistributes.
And we believe then, we believe today, we will believe tomorrow that it is government's job to deliver that dignity. Dignity, my friends, is another way of saying freedom.
And I know you're smart enough to catch the problem here. Dignity doesn't come from politicians. It comes from the image of God in every person. When you strip someone of their agency, you take away their dignity. And here's the premise behind Mamdani's promise.
Because we need a government that is every bit as ambitious as our adversaries. A government strong enough to refuse the realities we will not accept and forge the future we know we deserve.
In his book, 1984, George Orwell warned that the state would call obedience freedom. Well, that's exactly what Zohran Mamdani is promising. Orwell wrote fiction. Mamdani is trying to turn it into policy. A government strong enough to grant every desire will be strong enough to deny every liberty. That's not freedom, that's dependence. You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but God designed human government to protect rights, not provide needs. In the book of Romans, Paul said that government is a servant, not a savior. Its moral duty is to restrain evil and uphold justice, so people can live peaceably and freely under God. The founders recognized that same truth. Endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, government's role is to secure those rights, not to invent or ration them. Because when government becomes the provider, it stops being the protector. And yet, Mamdani's slogan says, New York is not for sale. Well, that's the ultimate Orwellian irony, because he'd make every New Yorker property of the state. He condemns oligarchs for hoarding power while promising to give that same power to politicians. He'd take the free marketplace that he calls corrupt and replace it with one buyer, the government. That's not for sale. That's everything for sale to one master.
It sound right, boys.
All right, a little bit of nuance here. Our form of government isn't perfect, but its problem isn't the principles. It's the people who drifted from them. Our founding ideals were rooted in Christian faith and virtue, the belief that liberty is safest in the hands of a moral, God-fearing, self-governing people. Mamdani's vision completes that drift, replacing the creator with the collective and conscious with compliance. So what he calls freedom is really bondage, dependence on the very system he says is corrupt. Zohran Mamdani is promising a modern progressive plantation where the crop isn't cotton, it's votes. And sadly, maybe that's an experiment that New York has to live through, because sometimes people have to taste false freedom to remember what true freedom really is. The kind that doesn't come from politicians or government, but from the God who made us free in the first place. I'm Brian Tetamore with today's Faith Check News. Remember, think right to live free.